mistaken, but Jada Bharat. So Jada Bharat is acting. He's not actually, but he's acting as though he's dull. He doesn't know anything. And then his father tried to teach him Vedas. He tried to teach him, Gayatri, Sandhya Vandanam, and all that. Didn't work out. Finally, his father became old and he gave up his body. He's gone. And then he was just living with his brothers. And then the brothers thought, okay, this fellow is not doing anything. Let him put as let him make him a watchman. They have a paddy field. I said, go and sit in the paddy field and watch out. Just so birds or nothing will come. So they went. Jalabarat, he wouldn't say anything, no for anything. He just went. And then he was in the field and he was just doing whatever things he wanted. And then the dacoits, a group of dacoits came. And the dacoits saw that, oh, this person, he is a very good, what do you call, he's good for Narabali. Because he is a dull. He's as good as an animal. So it's good to give him as a sacrifice to our Bhadrakali, Durga Devi. And they took him. And Jadabharat, he didn't say anything. He thought it's up to the Lord. If the Lord wants me to be killed, because he is Brahman realized. And once you realize Brahman, then he, what is that word? Sthiraskrita, Viprarabdha, Sapta, Kshipta, Hata, Api. The devotees, if someone does anything to them, they cheat him or even try to kill him, they don't actually try to avenge or stop anything. He thinks everything is happening due to the Lord. So that is Hare Krishna. So all the dacoits took Jadabharat and they started. They're about to kill him in front of Kali and offer him to Kali. Then Kali Devi, Durga Devi, he could not tolerate a pure devotee being killed. And the deity actually burst. And from the deity, all the Durga Devi and all the what you call Ganas, they came and they killed all the dacoits. So anyway, so Jadabharat was going again. He was left alone. He was going, and then suddenly there's a king called Rahuguna was going in his palanquin. So the king, what was happening? So palanquin, you need 4 people to carry it. So somehow one other person was supposed to carry, he was not feeling well. So they need 1 person. 3 people are there, 1 person they need. And they saw Jadabharat. Said, oh, he looks very quite strong and stout. And said, and because he's a king, he can give order to anyone. So they said, hey, come here, this is king's palanquin, come and hold it. So Jadabharat went and he was holding one side of the palanquin. And then because Jadabharat was very conscious that he doesn't want to step on even on ants. So when the palanquin was going, Jadabharat was looking at the ground. And if there is ant or something, he would actually step in a different way. So what happens like that? The palanquin goes here and there because he's moving. The king got angry. Hey, what is happening? And that is again a wonderful discussion between King Rahuguna and Jadabharat. And he asked that, what's wrong with you and all that. And then finally, of course, Jadabharat gave him all the realizations and what you call that, the king. And that's a wonderful topic in Srimad Bhagavatam. Anyway, so these are some of the stories where we see in Srimad Bhagavatam where people taking reincarnation and rebirths. Now you might say, oh, Prabhuji, this is all wonderful, but this is all from the Shastras anyway. Now what are you talking? But actually, there is one great doctor called Ian Stevenson. Ian Stevenson, he's done so many cases, recorded so many cases of reincarnation, about 15 to 18,000 cases all over the world of reincarnation, where small babies, children, they can remember their past lives. Generally, by nature, the moment one gives up their body, they forget their past life. But then, exceptionally, sometimes people remember their past life. And Ian Stevenson, he recorded, and he recorded not one, two, three, four, 15,000 plus 15 or 20,000 cases. And then in that case, they say that as soon as the child starts talking, he starts talking in a different language. So, like for example, the parents are Kannada or something, the child will talk in like Telugu or Tamil. So he remembers everything. And as soon as the child grows up, they would say, "Oh, this is not my home. I want to go back there." And he'll tell all his village and his family and everything. Like that, they have done so many cases. If you Google also Ian Stevenson reincarnation, you see so many. So that is one. Hmm. The second thing is, but some religions they don't believe in reincarnation. They don't accept reincarnation because they don't believe in karma. I'm sorry, they don't believe in soul. For example, Christianity, they don't believe in soul. They believe in what you call that day of judgment. On the day of the judgment, their belief is the Lord comes down, and then all the people who have been buried, they will actually get up, and then He will actually no. But historians have said that Bible also had references to soul, but then the Roman priests, the kings, they have actually changed the Bible so that the soul word is taken out. So Christianity at one time was used as a tool to overpower, take hold of people. So that's why all the priests they were funded by the Roman kings. So that's how. So that time, what people would say, the priests would say, "You come and tell all your sins, then your sins will be washed away." So all the people they'll come and tell the priest what they have done, and they'll go and tell the king that okay, this person is doing this, finish. Hmm. So that's how kings actually ruled. Anyway, so some religions they don't accept it. So that's why even though there's so many thousands of cases, still the science doesn't say much about it. Similarly, there is cases of near-death experience. People, they go into coma, and when they go into coma, they can actually, or when they are being given anesthesia, they reported that they can actually see their body. They see that they are actually flying on the top of the room, and they can actually see their body. Not only that, they can hear what the doctor is saying and all those things. And then once operation is done, or they're back normal. Hmm. So much so that one of the patients he said that uh, while you're operating on me, I was there for some time and I got a little bit bored. I went out. He said, and I went into that balcony of one of the fifth floor balcony. And in the fifth floor balcony, there is like there's a football and there's a couple of shoes. They are lying there like that. He said. So the doctors they actually went to that fifth floor balcony and opened and saw that, and they saw that whatever this patient was explaining, that there's football and there's shoes and all that. So the patient was coming for the first time to the hospital. He never been there at all before. So this is near death experience. So this shows that there is a soul. And then what else? Hypnotic transaction. Sometimes people have phobias for no reason. Some people fear. For example, there was a patient. She's quite afraid of anything that's locked. So she can't stay in a room that is locked. The room should at least have one window open or something open. If like right now it's winter, we closed all the doors and we have turned on the heater. But such people they can't stay here. They said, "Oh, open something." So claustrophobic it's called. It's one of the phobias. So this doctor, he did hypnotize her, and then it's called regression therapy. And he took her in the trance. What were you in your previous life, and then she said that actually that so many lives ago she could see that she was actually in Egypt, in the desert somewhere. Hmm. And then, and then they put her into a cave along with so many other people. And the entrance of the cave was closed with a big stones and tightly locked. So there is no air coming into that room, and because of that, they could not breathe, and they all died slowly. Hmm. So this patient, she remembers that. She remembers it even after so many lives. So that's why she has this phobia of closed rooms. So all these things explain that there is uh, something that actually goes from one body to another body. Hmm. And that we call as soul. And the soul has a subtle body, and soul also has got consciousness, and it's got vasanas, and so it carries all the impression from the previous lives. Hmm. So, and of course, there's also super soul, Paramatma, accompanied in that subtle body. Hmm. So there's a subtle body, there's a gross body, but once the gross body finishes, the subtle body comes out of it, and in the subtle body, and subtle body is made up of mano, buddhi, ahankara, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Hmm. So the subtle body and also the desires, vasanas, all the inclinations from the previous lives. So subtle body carries all the vasanas, just like air carries the aromas, all the smells. Mataji is cooking so nicely, we can smell it. So like that, our subtle body carries all our impression from the previous lives. So so that's soul. So that means that whatever actions we perform in one lifetime, if you don't actually, what do you call them? If you do anything bad, if you do anything good, you will get action in this lifetime or next lifetime. See, there's Kanchi Parmacharya, what's his name? Chandrasekhar Saraswati. He was so this he was before, like I think 50 or 70 years before my father's he used to have a sister. So and her sister, her husband passed away, and she was very poor. So she was living in a very simple life, leading a very simple life. So and then this Paramacharya, he was very famous. He had so many disciples and everything. Everyone used. So some of the disabled came to him and I said, Paramacharya, can we do something for your sister? She's actually very much poverty stricken. And Paramacharya said that that's okay. Let her go through that stage so that next life she won't have any karma. Mm. So poverty is also is our karma. When someone is in a poverty, that's a karma. You don't go and again give her something and then create some other karma that she becomes indebted to you, and further she has to take one more birth. And he said, just let her live like that. That's fine. So this is karma. It's very intricate. There is connections everywhere. Mm. So we let's start the presentation. It talks about yoga, and then we finish that yoga, which also talks about karma. So Mayank, you're still there with me? Okay, all right. Now here, I think let's see if something happens. Yeah. So today's topic is, of course, the seminar is called Journey of Self Discovery, and the topic is the yoga, yoga and the topmost yoga. You've seen all this, how the material world binds us through the modes, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Hmm? We also seen these different modes, mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. We have seen what is their preferred time, food, music, worship, austerity. We've seen all this before. And then it's seen karma, good karma, bad karma. Laws are relative based on time, place, and circumstance. It's not the activity, it's a consciousness that matters. And universally condemned activities: meat eating, illicit sex, intoxication, gambling. Hmm. So these are like the four pillars. Uh, so if someone is doing one of these, they'll get bad karma. Hmm. And they suffer. And when they suffer, what happens? They go to hell or suffer in this current life. Hmm. Anyway, so let's see. We have seen this one: karmic reactions, instant versus delayed reaction. Instant reaction is you go and slap someone on the face, and immediately you will get a reply. You will also get shot. So that's instant. Sometimes delayed reaction. Sometimes you do some activity, but you get the result only after some. Just like you put a seed in the ground, water it. After some time, the tree comes, and then so that is so everything depending on the time. And then they will see individual versus collective karma. And then we have seen ignorance of the law, no excuse, and good and bad karma doesn't cancel. And then karma and vikarma. So karma is a good activity, and vikarma is the opposite, bad activity. So, and then the problem with karma and vikarma is good activity and bad activity both are not good, because to enjoy a good activity you have to take birth again. To suffer for a bad activity you have to take birth again. So पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि मरणं पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम् इह संसारे बहुदुस्सारे कृपया पार्थ पाहि मुरारे भज गोविंदम गोविंदम भज गुणवते. So Shankaracharya's Bhaja Govindam. So this cycle continues as long as you have karma and vikarma, good karma and bad karma. You have to take births and then go through. And then who knows? You might have lot of good karma. Then you take birth in a very rich family, aristocratic family. But then you might do something wrong with all the money. You might take up all bad habits and everything. Then you might get all the bad karma. So taking birth itself is a very dangerous proposition. That's why Prabhupada says this world is material world is not a place for gentlemen. He says. Prabhupada says that I know spiritual life is difficult, he said, but he said material life is impossible. ऐसा बोलता है Prabhupada, he said. So and why is it that God being reincarnated to the form of human beings? Who knows, sir? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Because again in Srimad Bhagavatam it is explained that the demigods actually glorifying the land of Bharatavarsha. They are saying that this land of Bharatavarsha is so amazing place that we have our demigod, and we are enjoying so much happily in the heavenly planets. But then because it is so happy and comfortable here, we don't get this inclination to perform devotional service and go back to the spiritual world. We are happy here, we'll be here only. But instead of that, if we actually get a birth in Bharatvarsha and perform devotional service, in one lifetime, we can actually go back to the spiritual world. So that is because Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Abrahma bhuvanalloka punaravartino arjuna nanupechatu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. It says that for the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, to the lowest ant, Brahma and ant, everybody has to take birth and death, but this is going on. So as long as you're in the material world, this cycle is going on and on. Only difference is sometimes insects live for few days or few hours, human beings live for 100 years. some trees live for thousands of years, like that. But still, everything has to go. That is the nature. So, so इसलिए the demigods, they are devatas, they are looking and thinking that, oh, these human beings are so lucky. In one lifetime, they can actually go back to the spiritual world. We wish that we get life like that. They are praying like that. That's what they prefer. In Bhagavatam, it's actually the prayers are there. The demigods are praying like that. Mm. So, so okay. So akarma is basically performing an activity by which you don't get any reaction for it. Mm. So, and then Prabhupada gives this example. There is a soldier fighting on the battlefield, and then the soldier goes and kills enemy soldiers, 50, 20 or them or whatever. Then the soldier who killed maximum number of other enemy soldiers, he gets some medal, Paramveer Chakra or Shurya, all that. But if the same person comes home and then he's got, we are telling he's got an argument with his neighbor, he takes gun and shoots him, then they put him into the jail. So that's why when the soldier fighting on the battlefield, he's acting on higher authority. Similarly, we should perform our activities basing on higher authority. What is the higher authority? Our scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Vedas, and all these things. So let's go to the next slide. So today's topic, yoga and the topmost yoga system. So we've seen this vikarma, karma, akarma. Activity that does not beget reaction, good or bad, is called akarma. And what does akarma do? It burns up previous vikarma and karma. So bank balance account is closed. That means you can go back to spiritual world. So if you have your account, in your account, something, then they'll stop you. Like a visa check in spiritual, they'll stop you. They'll ask you, what is in your account? Lust, anger, greed, pride, all this, anything is there, then sorry, go back. Everything is clean, nothing is there, then you can come back. So that is what it is. So the question is how to perform akarma. Means because human beings, nahi kashit kshanamapi, we cannot, a soul can never be idle for a while. You can sit and do meditation or dhyana for some time, but then after a while your legs get pain and then you get up. Activity has to be done to maintain our body. We have to take bath, we have to cook, we have to eat, and then we have to go and we have to work or work from home so that we get money, paid, salary, and then we go and give it to Safeway or Coles or something, then get. So all these things have to be done for sustenance. And then when we are doing all this, then you get some karma. Suppose if someone is working for some liquor industry or meat industry or something like that, then he'll get some karma. Or any activity that you do in the material world, there is some karma for it. So, but then we can't say that, okay, I'm not going to do anything, I'm going to sit still like this. Then you can't survive. You have to do. So then what basically akama does is you do your activity like a yoga. Consciousness. You do the same activity, but your consciousness has to be changed. So what he is saying, by performing yoga, you perform akarma. So what is yoga? Let us see. So this is not yoga. Yoga is not a mere physical exercise for shaping the body or a renunciate in meditation. Yoga is not asanas. Yoga is not for like good health, to increase sense gratification. Yama, niyama. It is said that one's life is determined by number of breaths. Bhagavatam said that. So once the number of times we take breath, so once that number is finished, That's it. The body says, okay, finish, you can go. Hmm. Actually, it's interesting. The word yoga means linking. Hmm. And what are we linking? Hmm? It is to re-establish our connection with the Lord, union between soul and God. Hmm. So, who is a yogi? People might wonder. A person whose life and activities are oriented towards re-establishing his relationship with God. Hmm. So, this person is called yogi. So, yes, this is a verse from sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Tapasvi tapasvibhyo adhiko yogi jnanibhyo apimato adhikaha karmabhyaschadhiko yogi tasmad yogi bhavardhuna. So here Krishna is telling a yogi is greater than the ascetic, greater than the empiricist, greater than the fruity worker. Therefore, Arjuna, in all circumstances, be a yogi. Now you might wonder what is this? Who is the ascetic? Hmm. So the basically ascetic person is a person who performs a lot of tapasya, hmm, and then does a lot of thinking. Hmm. You can call them like a gyanis. Hmm. So they do a lot of they read scriptures and they think. Like for example, Shankaracharya. Hmm. Shankaracharya he wrote so many things. What is that? So many books he written. One of the books was Vairagya Chintamani or something. Um, so where it says Mata nasti, Pita nasti, Bandhur nasti, like Shankaracharya says that, give up your family, give up your so, Tasma Jagrata Jagrata, it says, be careful, be careful. So this is like performing vichara, thinking, oh, what is this life, all this. Anyway, so these are the Gyanis, people who. So what Krishna is saying, a yogi is greater than the ascetic. So he's greater than the Gyani. And greater than the empiricist. Empiricist means one who does calculations, all this. Mm, sorry? Scholar, yeah. So, and then fruity worker means karma. People who perform karma yogi. So therefore, Arjuna, in all our circumstances, be a yogi. So